Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Tristcast. I'm your host, Tristan Dario, and I invite you to sit back, relax, catch a vibe, and enjoy the show. Hey y'all, take a moment before you get settled. Follow the Tristcast and leave a rating. Alright, I'll see you in today's episode. Peace. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Tristcast. I'm your host, Tristan Dario. Welcome to the show. I am dealing with a little bit of rain today. It's rainy out here in rural Missouri, but I got my Celsius. I'm a little bit tired. It's been a long weekend. Also, mentally preparing for a lot of different things that are coming up. And yeah, my glasses are dirty, so instead, this is why I am so excited to invest in a stand for the podcast, so then I can clean my glasses when I'm doing this rather than having to fumble the mic and all that. But no, dude, it's like so this is how I said it in my mind. Another day, another week closer to the next chapter of my life. And it is a bit, it's a bit overwhelming, but also at the same time, it's very much so exciting because I know great things are coming my way, and I've been working hard on myself and working hard on getting myself stable enough so that I can move somewhere where I'm going to be able to build a foundation, something that I've been looking forward to for a couple years now. So I'm finally getting there, and I'm very excited for it. And there's so much coming towards me, which is what can be overwhelming because I know that there's a lot of things I need to take care of before I move. And it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit hard, but at the same time, I'm doing these things, figuring them out as I go, and I know it's going to help me later on in the future, which is going to benefit me. Either way, it all benefits me. But thinking about how I'm going to make these things come to life, like getting a new job, finding a place to live, I have to insert myself at a different degree than I used to. I don't have anything to fall back on this time, and I really need to have that belief and faith in myself, not only in myself, mainly in God, that everything is working out in my favor, because I truly believe that. I just have to continue having this positive outlook on it and just keep on working through it no matter what. And pushing myself through it is going to be okay. It's going to be fine. I'm not afraid. I know that if I act in fear, nothing is going to work out the way that it needs to. So it's more so I need to just be ready for what can happen and what I intend on happening, I guess. That's how I'm trying to say it. There is a little bit of brain fog over here, dude, because I stopped vaping because I didn't like how it was taking another toll on my body. And I usually get in this way where, I gotta stop, which is okay. But I can already feel that there's different things a part of my body that it's already impacting. So I'm like, gotta get that out of my life. And I did. I'm doing okay. Jumping from thing to thing, it doesn't make it any easier, but we gotta cope one way or another. But especially since there's so much going on, so much that is coming towards me that I have to semi be ready for. All I know is I have opportunities on its way, and I know there's places I get to see, there's things I get to do. There's going to be levels I haven't reached before that I'm going to reach soon, and I'm excited. No matter how crazy or no matter how scary something might be, I know I can do it. And it's having that belief in myself that I can do it. When you have to pack everything up and you have to get rid of things that you don't necessarily have easy connection to, that can cause a little bit more stress. But also at the same time, if I cannot control it, or if I can't change anything in 5 minutes, why stress about it for so long? I know that there's some things that I'm going to have to continue paying for that I really don't want to pay for, because I would rather save the money to go towards something else that I want to do or invest in myself. But things don't work out that way. And this is what happens when you have things that you have to pay for and that you're responsible for. So I'm at the point where it's like I'm willing to make the decision I need to make for the betterness of my own life, because I don't have anything else to really have to worry about. It's just me having to make it forward. But at the same time, I know there's people that have their own expectations on me and how things go, but it's not my fault if people get mad at me because I'm living my life for me right now. How people close to me say it is, you don't have a family of your own, you don't have kids. This is at a time of your life where you're able to do things like this. You should take these leaps. You should take these risks. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to be afraid of the leaps that I can take. I'm just going to take them. I'm going to be prepared for them. And for the people who don't take those leaps because they have more things to be afraid of, or there's more things that they're responsible for, things happen in our lives, not to us, but for us. And this is how we continue to move forward. Wherever we're supposed to go, whatever we're supposed to do, it comes into our life, and we take it as we take it as we can. And I think that is the best we can do. And making the most of things that we have and that's going on in our life. That's the most we can do. But I know that there are things that are going to change in my life, and there's people that I used to be close with that I'm not going to be as close with anymore, because things are going to have to change, and I'm going to change, and I'm moving into this different stage of my life where I have to be open to accepting myself more and on a deeper level. I'm going to have to accept how life and things go, because I'm not in control. Even though there's this constant state in my mind, something in my brain is always trying to be in control, probably the ego, obviously. And it's like, you got to be able to just release it. And I think that's the hardest part my ego has, is releasing it. It has to release. We have to release what we cannot control. And there are only a select few things that we can control. How we react, how we respond, how we communicate. We only have control over ourselves. Only ourselves. We don't have control over life. We don't have control over other people. We don't have control over the weather. We don't have control over animals. We don't have this control. Maybe we have control over animals, but even then I don't think so. It's the only thing we have direct control of is ourselves. How we take care of ourselves. How we take care of ourselves, how we treat our bodies, how we move in life, how we treat other people, how we take in situations, how we respond in events and stuff like that. And so it's like, if I sit here and try to control how my car gets from point A to point B, that's the only thing I can control. But I can't control on how life is going to unfold for me. I have to just be open to it. And I have to be open to the fact that some things may happen that I don't want to happen. But I know that if I talk about plans, I don't want to move back to Florida. I know that I was talking about it for such a long time, but since plans changed, I know that that wasn't my first option. Wasn't even an option on my table. Florida was never really an option that I wanted to do. I spent 9 years there. I finished high school. I went to college. I did these things that I thought were good enough for me. I had a life that I wasn't happy with anymore. And I feel where I was in Florida wasn't aligned with what it was that I want to do with my life. So I want to be somewhere where I'm going to be very aligned, where I'm going to be so happy. And if it takes a while for me to figure it out, and if it takes me a while to find it, I know New York would be a great place creatively for me. It would probably inspire a lot of my art and work. But good luck finding enough ability to live and survive in New York without some help from my parents, and I don't get that. So it's like New York might be down the road for me, which I'm very happy with. I'd be very happy with New York being something down the road for me. But Chicago and Oregon, man, those are places that I have been very, very fond of. And who knows where I'm going? Who knows what I'm doing? I know I have a plan, but I know every single time I make a plan, God laughs. Because it's not me who's in control of my life. It's God. God runs it. I get to choose where I go, which is fine. But if something happens and I don't have any way to carry myself, that's it. That's it. And that's why I was looking at Chicago for a while, because, at least Chicago is like 7 hours away from family that I have here in the Midwest. And I'd be happy with that. But the only thing is, Chicago get cold as fuck. I was in Chicago earlier this year in like January, and it was -7 degrees. And a motherfucker was out in jeans, compression pants. And motherfucker, I was in like several layers of shirts, and my face was still freezing. I was wearing a fucking beanie, still freezing. All of this shit. So like, dude, Chicago would be nice, but it's too fucking cold. That's why later this month, when I start getting out and I start moving, I'm excited to visit Chicago, because then at least I can be in Chicago for like that summery vibes, because it'll be August, dude. Can you believe it? Like, it's already July. I move at the end of July, and it's fucking gonna be August, dude. It's about to be autumn time again. It's like I didn't, this summer I didn't really do much. This summer I didn't do a lot of traveling. It's going to be more towards the end of summer that I'm going to be doing my traveling, which is fine. It's fine because, I got to save up money, and I'm looking forward to my future. But at the same time, I'm in my 20s. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to, Italy was fun. I want to do something else. And if I move out west, I could go to Australia. I could go to New Zealand. I could go to, Asia, Southeast Asia. I would genuinely like that. I think I would really like that, honestly. Go over to Japan, It's probably a much better flight from West Coast compared to flying from fucking Midwest. And I'm not really angry. It's just I'm very passionate that there's things that I want to do, and I want to succeed, and I want to be able to achieve goals in my life. I want to make money. I want to be financially secure, and I'm getting more and more financially secure each month. So it's like the more I just focus on working and chasing my bag, the better I feel, and I think it's the balance of being able to make time for the things I want to do because I'm going to be working so much. And it's it's like finding a job where, all you have to do is go around and create, take videos, pictures, put them all together, and then you just talk about it, post about it, and then you make enough money of them for the next 2 weeks to survive. It's a weird life to live, but you get to travel, you get to do things that are new. It's like Anthony Bourdain traveling to different countries to try different foods and alcohol and meeting new people and making new friends. not being a tourist, just being somebody who's just enjoying the culture, like doing stuff like that. I haven't had Wi-Fi in over a week, and we still don't have Wi-Fi. We have a temporary box right now, and I was trying to work on a website. I'm trying to work on a portfolio website where I can actually show off work that I've done and then make solid stuff so that I can actually show people my work. And then I want to add a page for writing, because I've done so much that I'm just like, I need to put something out for people to see. And I am definitely craving nicotine because I am this addict, low key. I haven't smoked weed in over 3 months, and I feel very good. I think about smoking weed, but then I'm like, I don't want to spend that money. I want to be stable. Like, this is how I think about it. Because I'm moving and because I have to find a place to live, because I have to find another job, I don't want to get back into certain things and spend my money on things that are going to necessarily deplete me of money that I could use to go towards my move, going towards buying furniture, getting a new bed, because I'm not going to be able to take any of the stuff I have in Florida with me, and that has to be given away. I can't sell it. I got to give it away. So it's like, I got these things that I got to take care of, so I can't just go out and spend that money. I got to be frugal, responsible. I got to think about what I'm going to be doing. But also at the same time, I want to have fun, dude. I want to go out. I want to go have a beer. I want to go meet people. I want to go travel before I fucking travel out west. Even though, I'm probably going to do a lot of traveling when I go out there anyway. Because if I'm driving out west, that's several states that have several different national parks. I have a national park pass that gives me free access to all the parks in the United States. Boom, I can do that. Maybe instead of going and getting those boxes that are down in Florida, there's two specific boxes that I really want to get, or at least just one box that I really want, 1 or 2 boxes. One box is all of my artwork, all of my paintings. I have maybe 20 paintings right now, some unfinished. I have paintings that I need, that I want with me. Even if I haven't completed them, I can look at them and I can see if I can make something out of them. But I know it's my artwork I want. My brother's going to get practically everything in that storage unit that I have. And if I leave all those clothes and just take the clothes I have with me here and then just restack up, like when I get to a Plato's or to a different thrift store, make some money off of my clothes, it's like, I don't need to go back and get any of that stuff. I know that I need to get my records. There's a record that I got mailed to my mom's that I could have just had mailed here. I don't know why I didn't get it mailed here. That makes it harder for me. But I have a record I need to get. I have my license plate I need to get. I have my paintings. I have an Xbox One S that I could get back, get some games. There's a lot of stuff that I could go back and get. But that's just like, dude, I don't want to have to go back to Florida. Genuinely, I don't want to. I want to be able to let go of it. I want to let it all go. Not necessarily burn the bridge, but I just want to cut that string, cut that cord, because I just don't feel aligned with it anymore. I know where I feel aligned at, and I know it's scary that I'm going to be away from a lot of people, especially people that I've known for a long time. I'm not going to be close to them. And I know that's going to be hard. But at the same time, I got to do what's hard. Because if I don't do what's hard, I'm not going to be, or I'm not really going to get to where it is that I want to be. I got to do the hard stuff to get to where I want to be. And that means putting up with the shit that I don't want to put up with, going with shit that may not be good necessarily. The amount of Facebook groups that I'm in, looking for places to live, looking for people to meet. Dude, if you know anybody out in Oregon or in California or Washington, dude, hit my line. Hit me up on Instagram. It's in the description below the video, or it's in the description for the podcast on whatever you're listening on. Dude, like, if there's any connections that you guys might have out in Washington State, Oregon, or California, let me know. I'm trying to look for jobs too. I'm really good at a lot of things. I'm really good at connecting with people. I'm really good networking. Communication is a strong skill of mine. I can work really well with social media and platforms, and if I can just be taught certain things, I guarantee I learn very fast. And if I'm in one of these positions and work with specific individuals who are all about teaching and wanting people to become good at things, I guarantee you I will succeed. Like, I succeed at that level. And if I get the leadership training, because I already feel like I'm a strong leader. I already feel I'm a strong leader, but I know I can be better. I know that there is things I can be better at. I know there's so many things I can work on and need the experience. And if I can just get into the creative world, you know, I do the podcast as my hobby, and I make art as my hobby. Like, I'm an artist. That's my thing. I got to get out what's going on in my head, even though if I'm scribbling lines on a fucking piece of paper and I'm making it into something that I see with my own eyes, that's fucking awesome. That's cool. I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I want to be in the scene. I want to be around other artists. I want to be around the people who have their studios filled with canvases. I want to be collaborating with people like that. I want to be around people who make music. People who are like, yo, if you've ever thought about making music, dude, I've got a fucking... I'm not even kidding. I bought this back on Christmas. I was trying to learn how to do this shit. I got a Akai MPK Mini, dude. I wanted just to learn. And I haven't even been able to pick this shit up because I haven't been inspired. And not only inspired, it's like I only have the base package of Ableton. I know if I had the top of the line package of Ableton, I'd probably be able to do a lot more. And I'd probably have sounds that inspired me. And most of the time, people are like, dog, all you need is a good, what's the fucking term? Shit. Fuck. Sample. I just need a good sample. All you need is a sample, and then you can add your beats. I'm like, the fuck you mean, bro? And people just tell me, go on YouTube and learn. I don't know about y'all, but I download ad blocks and I just get hit with ads. I just get hit with sponsored content. And, you know, I have like a Melodics account where they do little fucking boot camps to learn. But like, it's not that I can't learn by doing YouTube videos and shit. My brain likes to have another person next to me. So that even if I'm not getting, if a person's next to me who knows what they're doing and they're just watching, I can feel confident that, you know, even if I slip up, I have someone there. But if it's over a fucking screen, it's different for me. The energy's not there. It doesn't feel like it's a one-on-one thing. And I know people don't have time for shit like that, but I know if you're an artist, it's not about not having time. It's about if you have a skill and an ability at doing something, it's about wanting to give it back. It's wanting to teach. Because when you're good at something, when you like something, and when you love something, you know you have to put it back out into the world. You have to be able to give that energy back. You can't just hold it in on yourself. That's the whole thing of being an artist. When you get to your mastery, that's when you start being the mentor. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, I'm not trying to necessarily just try everything, but because I know that my art is changing more and more, especially my digital art that I've been making. I've noticed that I make things that really inspire me that other people will look at and be like, the fuck is that? My abstract art digitally is so different. That's why I'm trying to make this website for my portfolio so that people can see where my brain is at. So people can see that, it may not make sense to them, but this is where my brain is at, and this is what I'm trying to make. And, I struggle with this whole thing in my head that the art I make won't make sense. It doesn't look good. People aren't going to understand it. But then I'm like, fuck that, dude. I wouldn't be making this unless I knew that there would be people out there who would see it and be like, holy fuck, that's dope. I look at all these people who can make fucking paintings of thunderstorms. I'm like, that's crazy as shit, but I can't make that. That's not the kind of art I make. Not that I'm not skilled enough. It's just my brain doesn't work that way. My brain sees lines. My brain formulates lines in ways that I just draw them. And then when I draw them, I'm just like, this may not look like anything specific to people, but that's what's going to make people be like, what the fuck is this? And that's the reaction I want. I want people to look at me and be like, where does your brain go when you create things like this? And I'm going to say, I go into this field of darkness, and then I just go into this state of flow. And no matter if it makes sense to people or not, this is what I make, and this is what I'm doing. I wanted to make lo-fi, so I got this. I may not be really good at it. Maybe I just don't have the inspiration nor the community around me that is like, yo, I live in rural Missouri. Tell me how many fucking people here in my town actually are doing shit that isn't drinking, going out to a fucking gun range, or going to, like a bonfire. I don't know. Dude, I do not have a hard time meeting people. I meet people like that. I'm very good at it, and I love meeting new people. But when I tell you, being out here, it's a whole different game. That's why I feel the biggest lesson I've had to learn is out here. The biggest lesson I've had to learn is being okay with being alone and having to accept being alone. And I still haven't fully accepted being alone, because I do find myself like, God, I could really use somebody out here. Playing video games, watching movies, that's just taking my attention away from the fact that I'm alone. And it's not like I'm fucking lonely and I'm scared, or I'm lonely and I'm sad. I used to be sad. I used to be sad about how alone I felt. Now it's like I'm fucking eager to get out of the house just to possibly see someone's face, just to meet somebody or talk to somebody about something that they may like, because it's not even about me anymore. It's like, I want to get out there just to meet people, just to see what they fucking like, what they're into. And even the dating scene out in rural Missouri, you're going to find people that are completely different from me. And I don't know if it's my personality. I don't know if it's who I am, but it just doesn't work the same way out here. And maybe that says something about who I am. I don't fucking know at all. But I know that sitting around texting people is not my way of doing things. Just not. I don't sit around and text people because I don't like being on my phone. I spend too much time on my phone on social media. So most of my energy goes into doom scrolling or watching something that I find interesting, or watching a movie. And then when I'm tired of being on a screen, I throw my phone away. And people have already texted me 4, 5, 6 times already, waiting for my response. And I'm like, I don't got the fucking energy for that. And this is what I've been learning and going through before I fucking move somewhere that's going to be a city again. Because I know, and I love the country for how quiet it is. I love rural Missouri because I can go out on my front lawn. I won't always hear people at their shooting their guns and stuff. But like, that used to be like, whoa, where the fuck is that coming from? To now it's like normal to me. And I have two like farm cats out here that I feed every morning. And I love them to pieces. They're adorable. And Oreo doesn't like fucking getting touched by me. But then when I finally chill out, she likes to jump up on the patio furniture when I'm laying out there reading a book. It's just sweet. It's sweet because I can be out there. It'll be so fucking quiet and I don't have anything to worry about and I can just be at peace. But I know if that is my daily basis, I go fucking nuts. And it's like not as bad as I make it out to be, because it's really nice to be able to walk away from the city for a little while. But I'm a city boy. It's like End of Beginning by DJO, man. It's like you can take the man out the city, but you can't take the city out the man. And like that's why every single time I go to Chicago, just like how DJO says it, it's like when I go back to Chicago, there's a different version of myself. Whenever I go to a city where I feel aligned, there's a different version of me. I'm more upbeat. Like even though I went to Chicago earlier this year in January and it was really fucking cold, I had such a great fucking time because I was in the city and I was surrounded by so many people. The amount of bars I went to by myself, had beer, went to dispensary to get some J's. I walked the streets even though it was freezing. Like I have pictures when I'm walking the fucking streets of Chicago and it's fucking snowing so much and it's so fucking cold, but I loved it. I loved it. Because it was this energy that I was in and it felt right. It felt nice. And I think that's, like I was there for little trips. And even though Chicago's really fucking cold, it'd probably be really dope to live there. It'd probably be really dope to meet some people who are in fashion or make art and have studios and they have collaborative spaces. I know one of the biggest things in Chicago is this community like membership thing that you can get where all these different artists go and there's like spaces to make art, there's spaces to make music where you can share instruments and stuff like that, and it's $100 a month just to go. But that gives you so much access to collaborate and stuff like that. That's why Chicago is on my list. That's why the idea of living in Chicago would be really fucking cool. But then Portland, Oregon would be fucking great because you got hiking trails. You got the beach. You literally go to one of the nicest peaks and then you can see stars that you've never seen before. Like that's shit that I want to see because I fucking love space. And being able to be around a different type of people, different kind of community, like the only downside about Chicago, I got a brand new car. I'm not selling that fucking car, dude. Not at all. I'm not selling that fucking car because I love it. I love that car so much that I'm not getting rid of it. And you got to pay $175 flat base minimum, $175 just to fucking have a parking space. Just to get a parking space. Nah, dog, that's way too much. Unless you get a $2,000 fucking apartment that comes with parking because it's an indoor parking garage. Let me tell you, bro, that's absurd because Chicago is expensive, but Chicago also has a huge immigration problem right now. And I'm not against letting people in, but I'm against people who come in illegally. It may not be easy to get citizenship here in the United States, but dude, I don't want to have to worry about getting fucking mugged. I don't want to, but even then, I don't give a shit. Like I believe that God's gonna protect me and I'm gonna be okay. I believe I'm protected by God, so no matter where I go, I'm gonna be safe. But at the same time, I don't want to walk down a fucking town. Here's the thing. I am not from Chicago, so like I'd have to meet people who know the bad parts of Chicago, the places to not go in Chicago. I gotta stay on the West Loop, or I gotta stay in the Loop just to fucking be semi-safe. Even though you got shit that you gotta worry about. You got shit you gotta worry about everywhere you go. But if it's getting worse in one of the biggest areas that have an immigration problem right now, dude, like what the fuck? The only downside about Portland that I've seen is the homelessness. These people need a place to live, but it's also the drug issues. Heroin, the opiate epidemic that's there, dude. Like, it's fucking crazy. Do these things really stop me from wanting to live here? Absolutely fucking not. No, because you got crazy shit happening everywhere, and I would rather be in these places. Florida is becoming increasingly more expensive just to live there. The governor is against artist communities 110%. Just vetoed $230 some million of funds to go towards communities for art industries down there. And I'm like, dude, I'm an artist. I'm a creative. This is how I want to succeed in life. This is how I want to find my success, through art. I'm not moving to a state that's literally against it. Sorry. And the amount of people that are performers, the amount of artists, creatives that are down in Florida right now that I know, that are trying to make ends meet, that are trying to survive while making their art too. What the fuck? I don't like that. I don't want to be around that. I want to be somewhere where it is so inviting for you to come, bring your art, try something new, learn something about yourself. That's why West Coast just sounds nice. And I'm not some fucking person who wants everything handed to me. I'm not. I know I got to work for it, and I'm going to work for it. I know I will. I already have it in my head that I have to. I'm a highly productive and hard worker. And for me, you have to be a hard worker to get where you want to be. And if you can't do that, you're already preparing yourself not to succeed. I know that we are, some people would say we already work hard enough. If you want to make the money that you want to make, if you want to be able to fall in love, walk on the beach, lay under a tree reading a book, you got to be able to work to make that money to have that time off. That's just how we are. And if it changes and we get to have these kind of styles, this is the thing. If the United States ends up going into a huge revolution and then we lose control of everything and we aren't able to go anywhere and we get locked up in this country, you're not going to be able to do certain things. That's what this whole Project 2025 thing with Donald Trump or any of that, that's what's up in the news right now, is Project 2025 and how that would eradicate all the rights and liberations we already have in the country and tear us from where we are right now to the very fucking bottom. And then you may have your entire country locked down. You may not even have access to leave, even if you aren't happy with it. And that's what I've been thinking about, is like, dude, if something happens and we get locked into this country, we can't leave. I want to leave right now. But then that's like, so much shit could come of that. So much shit. So it's like, I have to be able to make a decision, land there, be okay with whatever fucking happens, and trust that God's going to protect me every step of the way. And, that can be so much and be very overwhelming. But at the same time, nothing I can do except vote and keep my mind on how I can give back to my communities and how I can continue helping other people. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I can't stress about it or worry or doubt that everything isn't working out. I have to just have faith that everything is working out exactly the way it's supposed to. It doesn't change the fact that it's scary as shit. But hey, it's all right. It's going to be okay. No matter what, we just got to have faith. But yeah, this has been a lot. I know that I was much more high energy, and I know that I would rather be going through these things, learning more and more about myself, and putting myself out there authentically rather than just trying to pretend. I think I was pretending for a long time, and I'm not willing to do that anymore. So it's like really having to just put myself in a place where I have to be okay with it and not trying to control everything. And I think I'm finally okay with not controlling everything. So I invite other people to let go too, just like me. Go play your video games, go watch a movie, be responsible with your money, but also have fun. Think about where you want to be and how you want to be in the world, but don't overstress about it, because we are constantly changing and shit's constantly changing every single day. So just be open with how things are going and be open with how you want to just experience life, all right? Because we don't have full control over everything in life. We got to be okay with things not going to according to plan all the time. Like I said earlier today, every single time we make a plan, God laughs, as if we understand what's happening. Some people truly feel that what they're doing is all them, and I give them props, but I know that I don't have control in that way. I know that there is something outside of my control that is acting on my life, and the more that I accept that God is in charge, the more I realize that I've never been in control of my life. I've just gone to where I felt aligned. And who lines me up? God. We may not all agree on that, but that's just how I feel. It's just, I'm spiritual. I am Christian. I believe that I have been saved by Christ, and, I'm being led down a path for me. But, as a person who tries to unlock everything within myself, I know that I align with Buddhism teachings, and I know that there's so much more out there to unlock and understand, and I think I battle that within my mind, because there are things that go on in my life that I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why do I feel this? Why do I feel that? What is going on in my heart? And I can't always explain it, but I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to better understand myself more and more every single day, even though I'm constantly confusing myself. And that doesn't make it any easier as you're planning to make a move. That's just the whole bottom line. But yeah. Take it easy and enjoy yourself today. And with that, I would like to say, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, and a wonderful night. Peace.